Good morning. It's 8:32, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to call this meeting of the Kent County Board of Commissioners Finance and Infrastructure Committee to order. The first item on our agenda this morning is public comment. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to comment. Good morning.
Grand Rising, everyone. I'm D. Jones, passionate entrepreneur and visionary, and this is the Finance and Infrastructure Committee. I do believe that the federal government does need to give us additional finances to help our infrastructure around affordable housing, around innovation centers, around healthcare, around a lot of social issues that's affecting society. But I'm happy to chair the Stocking Community Hub. I understand that how America has a financial system that is under a lot of countries' government that controls their natural resources and their infrastructure. So hopefully you politicians are doing good due diligence with the natural resources and the finances that you guys oversee for Kent County. I believe you guys are doing good, but it's always possibility to do better. And just excited because got some good news from IFF. I can't publicly speak about it, but I know that I was here when you guys got the ARPA funds, that you guys gave some funding to IFF to actually create the Affordable Housing Fund, and that fund is a larger fund. And I can't announce it, but I'm so excited, and just know that the Stocking Community Hub is actually going to be a reality, and that we're going to get to the core root of the social issues that's affecting society in our community, and some issues that politicians don't like to get into. But that's what people from the community is going to step up, and you can't depend on politicians and elected officials to solve all of your issues around the community. Sometimes people around the community have to step up, and I've been doing that consistently as long as I can. And so I can't really speak on it, but guys, I'm so excited for the Stocking Community Hub project. It's crazy, but it is a reality. And we are going to get the school building that actually be able to get to the core root of the social issues affecting the community. I just can't speak on specific things, but glad IFF believes in our vision. Glad, I don't know anybody on Kent County Board that's pulling for the neighborhood organization, but I thank everybody on the Kent County Board. Continue to see on this 3D printed construction vision. I believe that 3D printed construction is going to be a huge thing here in the state of Michigan, as the city of Detroit has already printed the first house. I'm also working on this historical black college initiative to educate historical black colleges on finances and infrastructure and 3D printing construction and NIL and entrepreneurship and all of these things, to be sure that we uplift the black community and historical black colleges. So as this project is being built, in a couple years there will be a lot of historical black colleges and people across the nation that knows about the Stocking Community Hub, and I'm going to be uplifting the economy. Started with historical black colleges.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to comment this morning? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda? Moved by Commissioner Packless, supported by Commissioner Sparks. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda this morning? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to item 4, our action items. We will start with 4A from Community Action, appropriate vehicle sale revenue to the Senior Transportation Program.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to accept and appropriate $15,252 in funds from the sale of 2 transit vans to the Senior Transportation Program in the FY 2026 Kent County KCCA Fund budget. Summary. The Michigan Department of Transportation, Office of Passenger Transportation authorized KCCA to proceed with the local disposal of 2 transit vehicles and subsequently released its lien on both vehicles in accordance with state and federal disposal requirements. Vehicle 1809 was sold for $9,777. Vehicle 1811 was sold for $6,450, with a $975 expense incurred for decal removal, resulting in total net sale proceeds of $15,252. In compliance with federal and state requirements, sale proceeds will be used solely to support transit operations and will be appropriated to the Senior Transportation Program.
Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Halsted. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Coleman. Coleman, questions or comments on this item? Commissioner Pakla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Al, this may be a I'm new to finance kind of question, but is this a pretty typical process for when we have an item that's sort of going out of age, that we send it over to an auction company like Ranger Bid? And are we pretty comfortable with that process, especially the price we got?
Yes. I will say in this case, though, we are adhering to the state and federal requirements more than county policy.
And that
Yes.
state and federal requirements is in terms of the process or in terms of
In
match
terms of
pricing?
process,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Because they were purchased with the state yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments on this item? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to item B, also from Community Action, KCCA, fiscal year 2026, YHEAP, WAP, program amendment. I don't know, that's a new one on the end. I don't know.
Action requested, recommend to the Board of Commissioners to accept and appropriate $612,948 in additional federal grant funds passed through the Michigan Department of Public Health and Human Services and $10,000 in program income for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, Weatherization Assistance Program. Somebody must get paid to make those long acronyms, you know? To the FY26 Kent County Community Action Fund budget contingent upon execution of an amended contract, and to authorize the board chair or designee to execute the grant agreement, approve extensions, amendments, and increases to the grant appropriation not to exceed 15% of the original award. Summary, the Board of Commissioners previously appropriated $421,808 in grant funding, along with $9,093 in general fund transfers for the 2026 LIHEA WAP program with Resolution 828-2556. MDHHS has made an additional $612,948 available for KCCA to increase services through the end of September of 26. Additionally, the program is anticipating $10,000 in program income related to project co-payments to be received from landlords. The additional funding will allow KCCA to weatherize up to 50 more homes for low-income homeowners throughout the county. The period of performance is October 1, 25 through September 30, 26. Corporate Counsel will review and approve all documents as to form prior to signature.
Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Pakla. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Sparks. Is there any questions or comments on this item? Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just curious, the $10,000 in anticipated program income, is that some kind of like cost share that landlords are expected to kick in, a percent or two of the project? Is that how that works?
I see the buck being rapidly passed
Yeah.
in the back of the room.
I'm Marshall, Project Supervisor for the Weatherization Assistance Program. It's a 25% copay for landlords, just to use the LIHEAP funding on those specific projects.
Thank you. So 25% of
Of
what?
the total cost. So in order to use LIHEAP, a special type of LIHEAP funding, we need a buy-in from the landlords. And that's just what we anticipate, an estimate of how many times that might come up.
So that's not always a requirement?
It's not, only if
Okay.
only if it's a landlord. If it's a owner-occupied house, then we don't need it.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Is there any other questions or comments on this item? Thank you for your help with that
Sure.
question. Okay, see no additional questions or comments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to item C from Parks and Recreation, Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund Grant Application 12-Mile Green Space.
All right, and I think I pulled up the wrong parks one, so let me grab the right one. Okay. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to approve submission of a grant application to the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund for the purpose of developing the 12-mile green space, including a four-season restroom with gathering space, parking lot improvements, and the development of an accessible non-motorized access point to the Rogue River with an accessible kayak launch, and commit to funding the required local match if awarded. Did we jump ahead?
No, 12 miles green space is what's on the agenda next. That's not what's on.
Right,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's, okay,
You're
got it. Summary, Kent County currently owns 43-plus acres of primarily undeveloped green space on 12 Mile Road in Algoma Township, just west of Wolverine Boulevard. The property is uniquely situated between the White Pine Trail, a 92-mile paved state of Michigan rail trail connecting Comstock Park to Cadillac, and the Rogue River, a state of Michigan recognized natural river that originates just north of Kent County and terminates at the confluence of the Grand River. The park has proven a popular trailhead for those utilizing the White Pine Trail. The Parks Department has designed a potential project to enhance the park by creating four-season restroom with attached gathering space, an enhanced accessible path to the Rogue River with accessible non-motorized boat launch and selective parking and site amenity improvements. The addition of Rogue River access to the park will create a 2.5-mile water trail where residents will have the opportunity to kayak, canoe, float from the 12-mile green space to downtown Rockford. The total estimated cost of the development plan is $1 million. The Parks Department is seeking support of the Board of Commissioners to apply for a Natural Resources Trust Fund grant to cover $400,000 of this cost, which is the maximum application amount for a trust fund grant. As part of the resolution, the Board of Commissioners must resolve to commit to funding the required local match if the project is awarded. The match funds do not need to be appropriated at this time, and the board does not need to designate the source of the match funds. A potential notification of award would come in December of 2026, with an actual award appropriation in summer or fall of 2027. Given that timeline, the county would have until fall of 2029 to complete the project.
Is there a motion for this item? No, we did, this is the 12-mile green space. So so just to clarify, they're, yes, in our packets, they're backwards, but the one that's listed first on the agenda is the 12-mile green space. So that's the item that we're on currently. So is there a motion for the 12-mile green space? Commissioner Pakla, is there support? Supported by Commissioner Halsted. Any questions or comments on the 12-mile green space application? Commissioner Pakla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Really excited for the MNRTF season. I think these are just great opportunities for the locals to get some dollars at the state level. Ben, if you could walk me through sort of the process here, because this is not one of the projects that we already have funds allocated for. So if we get the funds, we would have to do that $600,000 allocation to get the total project. That would come in next year's budget then, at that point in time?
Yeah, good question, thank you. So again, the way, just to overview the way the process works, so the applications to the trust fund are due by April 1st. There's a long review process. The trust fund board actually makes its recommendations for appropriation in December. And then sometimes in 2027, they actually appropriate those funds. So in the way back time, it usually took like a month or two. Lately, it's taken up to a year. So we'll know in September whether the project scores well or not. And if it scores well enough, we'll start to identify what those potential match sources are. We do anticipate trying to raise funds through private philanthropy for this project. We think there's some entities in that area that might contribute to that. And then we also have the CIP process that we'll be going through in the spring of 2027. So a couple different opportunities. But again, you don't have to appropriate those match funds. The grant actually has to come back for acceptance. And if those match funds don't exist, you can technically not accept the grant. People have done that before. So there's a lot of moving parts between now and when the grant is actually appropriated by the state.
That's great. And then just one more question. Do these two applications that we're submitting, I know we're only on the first one right now, but do the two that we're submitting compete with each other at the state level?
So yes, they require us to list them in order of preference. So we'll actually list the Chief Hazy Cloud one first and the 12-mile green space one second, but does not preclude us from getting two grants. So in the last cycle, we did get two grants that scored particularly well.
Great. Thank you so much for all your work.
Any other questions or comments on this one? Okay, thank you for your help with that. See no additional questions or comments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to item D, also from Parks and Recreation, Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grant application for Chief Hazy Cloud.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to approve submission of a grant application to the Natural Resources Trust Fund for the purpose of developing a Chief Hazy Cloud trailhead for the Grand River Greenway, including a parking lot, four-season restroom with outlook shelter area, and the creation of a natural surface single-track trail system, and to commit to funding the required local match if awarded. Summary. As part of the Grand River Greenway Initiative, the Kent County Parks Department is developing a portion of Chief Hazy Cloud Park to serve as the mid-county trailhead for the project. The project will include an access drive from Pettis Avenue, parking lot, four-season restroom with an outlook shelter area, and the development of a natural surface single-track trail system through the park to support mountain bikers and hikers. The project will also eventually serve as the Chief Hazy Cloud gateway to the Park-to-Park Bridge, a one-of-a-kind suspension bridge connecting Chief Hazy Cloud to Ada Township's Roselle Park. The total estimated cost of the project is $1.8 million. The Parks Department is seeking support of the Board of Commissioners to apply for the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grant to cover $400,000 of this cost, which is the maximum application amount for a trust fund grant. The remaining $1.4 million local match has been previously appropriated as part of the $10 million ARPA allocation for the Grand River Greenway, which includes trail engineering and development, as well as trailheads and amenities at Johnson Park in the Lowell region.
Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Pacla. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Sparks. Any questions or comments on this, Commissioner Pacla?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Al, do you know, was there a diagram that was planning to be included with this in the agenda? I didn't see one. I was really appreciative for the one that was for the 12-mile road one.
Sorry, we're currently working on that final diagram now. Our hope is to have it included in the actual board packet.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Are there any other questions or comments on this item? Okay, thank you. Seeing no additional questions or comments, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to our final action item, E, from Fiscal Services, General Obligation Limited Tax Refunding Bond Series 2026.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to authorize pledging the county's full faith and credit to the issuance of General Obligation Limited Tax Refunding Bond Series 2026. Summary. Act 34, Public Acts of Michigan, 2001, as amended, also referred to as simply Act 34, authorizes the issuance of bonds for the purpose of refunding all or part of the county's outstanding securities, including the prior bonds. The County of Kent issued its General Obligation Limited Tax Capital Improvement Bonds Series 2016, dated June 1, 2016, in the original aggregate principal amount of $20,675,000, and these were the 2016 bonds. The County of Kent issued its Limited Tax General Obligation Refunding Bond Series 2017B, dated July 19, 2017, in the original aggregate principal amount of $22,780,000. The County Board of Commissioners has determined that it is in the best interest of the county to refund all or a portion of the prior bonds and to authorize an officer of the county to negotiate the sale of refunding bonds to Huntington Securities, Inc., doing business as Huntington Capital Markets, and refund all or a portion of the prior bonds. Net present value savings on the refunding bonds are estimated at $1.84 million, or about 9.55%. Staff anticipates closing on the bonds in May of 2026. Bond Counsel has reviewed and approved all documents.
Is there a motion for this item? Motion. Moved by Commissioner Womack. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Kallman. Any questions or comments on this item? Commissioner Kallman.
Thank you, Chair. As I was reviewing this one, I developed kind of an allergy to giving more money to bankers and lawyers. But also, I'm a good West Michigander, and I like saving money, which is what's happening here. I just want to express my appreciation to Jeff for his quick responses yesterday to some of my questions. The only one of those that I would mention just specifically is that the net savings is after the expenses of about $216,000, if I remember. So that was a clarification I had asked for. So those costs are kind of rolled up into those net savings, and so I'll be supporting saving money.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on this item this morning? Okay, see none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We are on to item number 5, commissioner comments. Are there any commissioner comments this morning? It's a quiet group this morning. Okay, seeing no commissioner comments, we are adjourned. Thank you for joining us this morning.